So what's happening to people is they're finding out after checking their status that apparently they voted multiple times. And what's crazy about this is if you voted early and then somebody voted, say, on election day under your name, your real vote is not going to count. So that's why it's important to check this and check this now. It's also important for people who did not vote to log in and check their voting status because somebody might have voted in your name. So I'm going to jump on the computer and show you guys how to check your status, what it should look like, what it shouldn't look like, how to tell if somebody voted in your name and show you exactly what that looks like, and then show you guys how to report it. First, you're going to go to My Voters Page Georgia. I will leave a link down in the description to a direct link to it so you guys can just click on it. It'll be the very first link in the description. Once you're on the page, you're going to see on the right-hand side where it says MVP login. And you're going to put in your first initial, your last name, the county that you live in, and your date of birth. On the bottom left, you'll see where it says see my absentee ballot status. This is going to be the link for anybody who voted early or had somebody vote early for them. It might say something slightly different if you voted on election day, but it still should say status in it, and it should be located in the same area. Now, once you click on it, it will show you the day that you voted on. Now, if you see multiple days that you apparently voted on and one that says canceled, this means that somebody voted under your name that was not you, and this needs to be reported. And it'll look something like this. Now here you can see where this guy actually marked, this was actually me. I voted early, and then somebody voted on election day and it canceled his vote. So this is why it's important to check this. If this has happened to you on the right-hand side of the webpage, you'll see where it says stop voters fraud. You're going to click that, and then you're going to click where it says click here to stop voters fraud, and you're going to fill this out. So when filling this out, it's important to be as detailed as possible. Say, I've only voted once, but it's showing that I voted twice. I voted on this day, at this time, at this location. Or try to be as specific as you possibly can. There should be no room for error or misinterpretation when it comes to reporting something like this. I've also included an email down below where you guys can send me a screenshot. You don't have to include like the whole screenshot where it shows you.
Hello, Georgia. I know we just did this whole election thing, but guess what? You're not quite done yet. You have a runoff election coming up. 2 of them, actually. On December 1st, there is a runoff to resolve some state and local races, and then on January 5th, 2021, you'll be able to vote for both of Georgia's seats in the US Senate. For this video, we're focusing on the dates and deadlines for the Senate election in January, but you can go ahead and put December 1st on your calendar too. So, if you want to be able to vote in January, you're going to have to register first. If you voted in November, you are probably already registered, but it doesn't hurt to check. There's a link below where you can check your registration status right now. It's also the same link that you'll use to check your absentee ballot status, polling location, and all sorts of other useful voting information. If you're not registered, or if you need to update your legal name or address, you can use that same link to fill out a registration application. As long as you have a valid Georgia driver's license, you'll be able to enter that license number and submit the form online. If you don't have a Georgia license, you'll have to print it out, sign it, and mail it in. The deadline to register is December 7th if you want to vote in January, but the sooner you do it, the sooner you can cross it off your to-do list. And for those of you with December birthdays, you just have to be 18 on election day in order to be eligible to vote, but you only have to be 17 and a half to register. So you too can go to the link in the description and get registered by December 7th and cast your very first ballot in January. Once you're registered, you have a bunch of different options for how you can vote. Anyone in Georgia can vote by mail, otherwise known as voting absentee, for any reason. All you have to do is download the form in the link below, fill it out, and mail it to your County Board of Registrar's office. There's a link to all of their addresses in the description. Technically, Georgia accepts absentee ballot requests up until the Friday before Election Day, but the sooner you apply to vote absentee, the sooner you get your ballot and the longer you have to fill it out and mail it back so that it arrives by January 5th. Once you have your ballot, if you find that it's getting close to that deadline and you're not sure if it'll make it in time, you can bring your ballot to an official ballot drop box. Links in the description to find those. And once you've mailed or dropped off your ballot, you can even track it to confirm that it has been received. You can also vote early in person starting on December 14th. The hours and locations vary by county, but all counties are required to allow you to vote early on at least one Saturday if voting on the weekend is easier for you. There's a link in the description where you just select your county and it will tell you when and where you can go vote early. If you miss all those deadlines, or if you would just rather vote in person on January 5th, you can find out where to go to vote using the same link that you used to register. Polls are open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. statewide, and as long as you are in line by 7 p.m., you are allowed to cast your ballot. When you go vote in person, early or on election day, you will need to bring an ID with you. They'll accept a driver's license, state ID, passport, military ID, or tribal ID. If you don't have any of these forms of identification, you can get a free voter ID card at your county registrar's office or the DMV. The hours that those offices are open can vary, and you'll also need a birth certificate and a proof of address to get one, so if you need a free voter ID, start working on that now. One last thing, if you're gonna vote, and I hope you will, make a plan. Put it in your notes app, text a friend, make a calendar event, just make a plan right now while you're thinking about it. Decide when and how you're gonna vote, figure out where your ballot drop boxes are, or what ID you're bringing if you need one. Just make a plan to vote right now so that nothing unexpected stops you from being counted. And if you still need to register or request an absentee ballot, do that right now. Open a new tab or just do it in this one. This video is basically over. Just do it. All the links you need to check your registration and polling location will be in the description. Thank you for voting.
Let me be perfectly clear on another point. We are going to find that people did illegally vote. That's going to happen. There are going to be double voters. There are going to be people who did not have the qualifications of a registered voter to vote in this state. That will be found. Is it 10,353? Unlikely. But every election, as I've said, I think every day at this podium, is imperfect.
All right, people of Georgia, this is your chance to make a difference. It's your chance to get out there and vote. I've just threw some videos together to show you how to vote, how to check your vote, because this year, for some reason, there's a lot of fraud going on. And I know the news is not covering it. And we need for you to check your votes and make sure you cast them in person if you can. There's a lot of going on behind the scenes, and there's a lot of people fighting in your behalf. So please get out and vote. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of the video.